Hey guys, and welcome to this week's podcast episode. What can allies do to help LGBTQ plus people feel more comfortable? With me, Daisy Jones, she, her.
And me, Hazza. Harry Laidlaw. They, he, and our special guest of the week.
Hello, I'm Billy Marsden, he, him, and I am an ally.
Hey, good job, well done.
It's like, what are they called? Hello, my name's Harry Laidlaw. I've been sober for 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
An AA meeting.
AA
that's it.
meeting.
Allies
Yeah.
Anonymous. Don't be
Hi,
anonymous
Billy
if you're an
Marsden.
ally.
I'm an ally. Allies Anonymous, yeah.
Allies Anonymous.
Brilliant. So, Billy.
Question of the day. What can allies do to make... It's quite funny that we're asking you this question when you're the ally, but...
Yeah.
Go on, what?
From a straight perspective.
Yeah, okay. Like, the big thing is, in short, it's acceptance, I think.
Yeah.
And not acceptance to the level where you're making it obvious that that person is queer, is one of the LGBTQ. It's just like if they go like you are using their pronouns, you are understanding that they're not straight, they're different to you almost, and then it's like I think we hear a lot of our parents sort of go like maybe with non-binary or with bisexual, they're like, oh, like, why can't you just choose one? It's like, why can't you just be the sex you were given at birth? It's like, well, like you just need to accept that they don't want to be that. And it's very hard for someone who isn't LGBTQ to understand the troubles they've been through. Like, I will never know what it's like to feel like my gender is not what is in between my legs, kind of, or I will never know that, like, it's like I've not gone through the troubles of not liking the opposite gender.
Yeah.
And I think more people just need to accept it, that it is a part of society, and it's becoming a much bigger part of society in the way it definitely has in the last 10 years.
Definitely.
That's
And
in
I think
short.
the thing of acceptance is definitely, well, the thing of tolerance and a lack of tolerance has come from the Western world. And like, often organised, I don't want to generalise, but lots of organised religions that come from the Western world will have added clauses or things that actively discriminate against LGBTQ people to sort of push that intolerance and hatred. So I think acceptance is a really nice word for it.
And there's no need to not accept people. I also like the fact that you said acceptance, but not in that over, like, I'm going to cater to you because you are different. Oh, we love you. Oh, look at them. Oh, look, they're different. Oh,
That's something in like
I
films
despise
and
it.
TV when they're like, look, we have a gay moment. Look, they kissed. That is just, it just makes my skin crawl because there's that's not acceptance. That's performative
Tokenism.
activism. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I think it's also like wanting to expand your knowledge about it. Like, I'm someone who, if I find out, like, for example, I found out like LGBTQ, and then I looked at LGBTQIA. I didn't know what IA was, so I looked it up. And like, because when I went to London Pride, I saw this picture of like all the LGBTQIA plus flags. I hadn't heard of half of them.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah. So and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna like look this up because I'm interested in what the difference is, like what sort of people are in these. And I think it's like I'm quite different in the fact that like I feel like I should know that sort of thing. And I know a lot of people, a lot of my mates at home, a lot of like older people that we all know don't really care and be like, oh, it's just the young people.
Yeah.
They're sort of they're trying to be individual, but it's your job to give them the respect because you don't know what they've been through in order to call themselves whatever
Absolutely.
pronoun, whatever sexuality they're talking about.
Definitely.
So I remember, I don't know if you remember, Daisy, similarly, obviously not exactly the same thing, but like the first time the word non-binary came out my mouth, first of all, it took too long, but it's such a like, oh yeah, click, boom, light bulb moment. I don't know if like it was saying when you were like, I'm pansexual, bam, like it just feel. I mean, I had it twice. I was like, oh, bisexual, what a great word. Oh, non-binary, what a great word. But
it's that moment of fuck, that's me.
And there is so much, like you said, Billy, that like that leads up to that moment that people who aren't LGBTQ plus will never understand. And yeah, I think you're right. It's important in order to be a good ally to want to know more, because I think this is the thing. Yeah, I want to understand, because I think the same goes for allies of any sort. But the thing is, like, we are raised here in a very heteronormative world which has a gender binary and blah blah blah. So as queer people, we get the straight experience 24/7 and feel like we don't fit in. And straight cis people don't tend to get the queer experience 24/7. I mean, obviously, you're in a fun situation.
This is what I was gonna ask, how being in theatre, which is a typically queer community in comparison to a lot of jobs, and growing up with that, how do you think that has changed your perspective or just influenced it?
It's massively
How does it feel?
Yeah, like, well, ever since I've started doing this, I've had musical theatre as well as sport background, as well as rugby, which are two very, very contrasting things. And I think from then on, but for me personally, it was a level of just understanding and knowing that on my rugby side, people are going to take the piss. And like whenever I'd miss games because of rehearsals, it'd be like, oh, Billy's prancing about on stage kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, like, you're joking about that, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm just going to take it on face value. And like how it is at Mountview and being the only straight in the year.
You only gay in the village.
That's what I was thinking.
The only straight on the class. It's the most, like 90% of the time I barely notice. Like, I barely notice. But the only times I do notice is when, like, and I completely get it, when it's a lot of the sort of gay men often go like, okay, let's go like girls and gays, and like they often club themselves together as the gays. And then will look at me and go, oh, not you. And then like, of course it's a joke, but then that makes me sort of go a bit, oh, right, okay, fair. But I completely get why you're together, because it's almost, because it is a minority, you've got to stick together. So overall, it's not like, and I've been around either people, LGBTQ people, or people who are very in touch with their feminine side, their masculine side, just not the sort of like patriarchal man, or not the sort of like flirty girl kind of thing. I've not been around them for a lot. Like that sort of musical theatre half of my life growing up has not been like that. But then it's like knowing that the rugby side won't look at that very well, and sort of going, okay, I get that. But when I'm there, that's me. But then often when I go to rugby, I'm like, I sort of put on a bit of that sort of lad's facade, just because to be accepted in both, you have to act a bit differently. And I feel like I do have those two sides. Like often when I go home to see my mates, there is a bit more of a lad's side that comes out, and like my mates at home who see, like my really good mates who have seen both sides, will go, okay, yeah, definitely, he has two different sides.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Literally. And I think it's just knowing that that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Because it's an acceptance thing.
It's an acceptance thing.
It's
It's
like, I know,
self-preservation.
yeah, I know that. Although I would be accepted in the lads culture if I was acting like in the MT culture or vice versa, but I just want to have more fun and be more like those people in a way.
Yeah.
It's an interesting parallel to, I'd say, us as queer people who also code switch so much, or have done for our entire lives. It's
a long time.
It's
that same
crazy,
feeling.
actually.
When I'm in a space with more queer people, I know that I can make certain jokes and I can say certain things, and I know it will be taken in the right way. And then it's very much like at Mount View, I'm very comfy with my queer side. I'm very I know that everyone here is accepting and just sort of acknowledges it. I do find sometimes when I go back home to rugby, just some the vibe there is very different. It's rugby, it's Midlands, which is great, but
the Midlands.
So you do just subconsciously switch into right, I'm not gay, I am straight.
Straight Daisy,
Straight Daisy lived for 90 years.
Well, I was about to say straight boy Harry, but I don't think I could ever I'd ever pass as that. I think everyone knew from birth. But it's really interesting that you said that. I find that really, I find that really interesting. I've never thought about it from, wow, look, we're all learning, folks. I've never thought about it from your perspective before. That's really interesting.
There are there's a few people in our year and a few people I know at home who are very much like that as well. They have that sort of more theatrical side in which they have to sort of dampen down a bit when they're playing rugby, when they're out for pints kind of thing. I think it's also worth mentioning I have also learnt a lot from being gay.
Being around the gay.
There's a lot of things that happens in the gay society which I did not know at all. Many things probably things I shouldn't mention on a podcast and stuff like that. But it's just stuff that I did not know, and now I know it. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Almost like I get you a bit more. Not that those sort of things are integral to who someone is, but I understand a bit more your viewpoint on life in a way.
Well, I do think a lot of hatred comes from ignorance and just people not knowing anyone in these minority groups and not wanting to. When you realise, we're people. I'm a normal human. Sometimes.
There's something that ALOC really cool. If I may have mentioned this in another episode, if I have, I'm repeating myself. I don't care. There's something that they mention about straight cis people or who are bigots, shall we say, being the quote bigotry does not come from just nowhere. It comes from a place of this community, this minority has so much love and has learnt to accept themselves and love themselves so much and love each other, blah 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 blah, and that scares me that I can't have that. I don't think I quite put that in the same words, but it's a really interesting perspective that again I've never thought of, and they talk a lot about it's very easy to go online and call this person a bigot and say that, but actually we're all suffering from the same construct, the same social thing that has been created for us, and that we've learnt to live within these boundaries of society, or our society. It's a really interesting thought. That
it sort of reminds me
actually
of
we're all the same.
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity, same thing.
Just almost, we're going. This is a big tangent, but sort of that. I feel like it almost comes from a hatred of feminine things. Is my understanding of it. So I think that's very similar to bigotry. Let's say. just comes from a hatred of the fact that you've not experiencing the same love and sharing that and being in touch with your feminine side.
Also, men's problems are caused also by men. Like it's a like the problem is not the problem. Men's problems tend to stem from patriarchy and from toxic masculinity. Billy, you can talk more on that.
As a man.
I sort of firstly, I almost think that, as I said about like knowledge, if those sort of, as you said, toxic masculinity, or those people who deem there's two sexes, there's only two sexualities kind of thing, if they actually knew about what people in LGBTQ go through, maybe they would accept them more, because they realise, as you said, that really not that different to you. The only thing they do is that they find men attractive, not women. It's a simple difference. And as you said about men's problems are from men, it's like so much so, it's similar to many things. You look up to people who look like you or are like you, and often for men it's like rugby players, it's like very good looking people in theatre, in film, sports people, and you want to be like them. Like a lot of the time that person you look up to doesn't even know they're doing it. But in your head you're going, oh, I don't have his abs, I don't have his even if I don't have his voice, I don't have his outlook on life, that means I'm less of a person. And so many people do that. And I think definitely right in saying that, like, a lot of the problem with sort of it's the same as women as well. Like, you look up to people that look like you, and that's where the majority of so many mental health conditions and any sort of adversity to minority groups, it's also because, like, I've got this going on, I don't get this group, I don't need to get this group, I need to work on that.
Definitely.
I think that's very important.
That was very important to say.
Definitely.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Statements. Let's get 10 words.
I get 10 words.
Oh no, you can get as many words as you want.
This is going to be exciting.
I think if I choose buzzwords, it'd be sort of acceptance, curiosity, and knowledge.
Yes.
But as I said, acceptance that they're just being themselves. You don't need to.
Genuine acceptance as opposed to performative acceptance.
Genuine acceptance, yeah, definitely. Like curiosity as to what makes you different to me. And knowledge that comes from that, and knowledge which I think leads to more acceptance.
Yes.
They're almost like, it's almost like a little triangle.
Like the reuse, reduce, recycle.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
But with
Curiosity,
recycle.
knowledge, acceptance.
Yeah, sort of like acceptance of their difference makes you curious about it, which gives you knowledge, which leads to more acceptance.
Oh, great.
That's great.
How
and the
beautiful.
allies out there, that's what you need to look like.
To
Yes.
all the allies.
To all the allies, thank you.
Do you want to throw anything in, Daisy? Any other thoughts?
No.
Any thoughts to feed Billy and the Allies? That my favourite band. Billy and the Allies.
My army. That's what AA, the Army of Allies.
The Army of Allies.
Army of Allies. Just remember that everyone is human. So you may, like, everyone goes through the same struggles. Everyone has to deal with the same shit. Oh, am I allowed to swear? I am.
Of course.
Sorry.
It's that podcast. We can do what we want.
Great. Yeah, everyone deals with the same things. So just because these people are part of this community does not make them any less human or normal or casual, like pedestrian. And I think if you connect to that side, you're on the right track, my friends.
Yeah.
What about you, Bazza?
I would throw in there, apologise swiftly and move on.
Yes.
That's my one of my pet peeves, personally. as someone who uses they, he pronouns. So someone's like, uses the incorrect pronouns and then goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. Oh, I'm so... Just...
Yeah.
I probably didn't even notice. So just move on. Let's just go with it. I don't mean just move on. Don't correct yourself. Correct yourself. Move on.
Yeah.
And same goes for anything. It's not just pronouns, misgendering, anything like that. Just anything. Same goes for anything. Apologise swiftly. Move on. We don't have to accept your apology. We probably will accept your apology if you do it and move on. If you try and perform your apology to us like a Shakespeare monologue, we're going to be like, okay, we get it.
Almost?
We get it. Yeah, how genuine are you being? Apologise swiftly, move on. What else do I have to say?
Be gay, do
really.
crimes.
Be gay, do crimes.
I think also it's worth saying everyone should be an ally.
Everyone should be an
Yes.
ally, yeah. If you're
You
not
should-
an ally,
yeah.
why?
The fact I'm calling myself an ally, it's just like, I shouldn't really.
You just
I'm just
know.
calling
No.
myself as someone who is not part of it, who accepts them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, does that make me an ally of women?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I should be. Just, yeah.
Of course.
I'm not an ally of men.
No.
Oh.
I'm not an ally of men or women. So no,
We love everyone.
also if you're in the queer community, be an ally
Ally
of
to people
other
in- that's a whole other topic.
Yes.
Other queers.
Yes.
other queers. Yeah, this goes out to everyone.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Mr. Billy Marsden.
Pleasure.
It's
Pleasure.
been a joy.
Please come back, visit us sometime.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I'd love to be.
Yeah.
whenever,
we'll
guys.
have our monthly straight.
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bring another
We
straight
love you
next
all.
time.
In a straight jacket.
It's
Bye, gays.
Bye,
Why don't you
gays.
Say it with us, Billy.
Ready?
You're allowed.
Bye, gays.
Bye, guys.